The shape of this classic beverage container is problematic in terms of heat management or thermal management, and this problem has plagued many thirsty travelers worldwide. So, in this video I'll explain what's wrong with this. This has to do with volume and surface area. So, volume has to do with shipping and thermal management, and surface area also has to do with thermal management. So, and these are all volume and surface area, and shipping is all tied together. So what do I mean? Volume is the amount of space inside a container, okay, or the amount of liquid you can put into a container. Even though that's capacity, it's close enough to volume now. So the amount of space. Surface area means the size of sheet metal this can is fabricated out of. If you take a pair of tin snips and you cut it up and unroll the material and lay it out flat on a bench, the size of that sheet metal that you end up with is going to be the surface area. The ratio of surface area to volume, or volume to surface area, either which way is good, is important here. This is not a geometric solid, but this is quite cylindrical, so I'm just going to round it to the nearest cylinder. Cylinder is one of the shapes that has the largest amount of volume meeting the smallest amount of surface area. In other words, and this is good in terms of engineering and is a very efficient design, the smallest amount of money, or the least amount of money, is spent on to buy the least amount of sheet metal or to wrap the largest possible amount of beverage. Okay? So efficient design is good. So what's the problem with it? Like I said, it has to do with shipping and thermal management. So in terms of shipping, cylinder is a shape that has some dead space between them. There's the dead space between the containers. That dead space in shipping could be used to transfer or move more beverage instead of carrying empty space there. There is a different shape, a rectangular prism, a better shape that has no dead space whatsoever, like this. It's basically a brick design where you can stack container side to side, edge to edge, and there's not going to be any dead space between these containers, unlike with the cylinders. So, however, if this rectangular prism, which is now 200 milliliters, was 355 milliliters, just like this is 355 milliliters, so given equal volume or equal capacity, this will have a larger surface area than this, and not without the folds and hems and seams and overlaps. Just the geometric shape. Go with a rectangular prism and go with a perfect cylinder. If both have identical volumes, that one has a bigger surface area. So it's not as efficient in terms of using resources to ship containers, but there is a better use of space. There is no dead space here. However, you may want dead space, because in this shipping configuration, this dead space can be used to circulate chilled air among these containers, to keep them at a temperature where they are ready for consumption and ready for display in coolers. And that circulating chilled air is actually an important feature. That's why they are not going to this design. If the core of this, say a stack of these, I don't know, say 6 of these high and 10 of these deep, whatever, a whole bunch of these warm up at the core, good luck getting chilled air circulating to the core of these. It's not going to happen. It's really difficult to cool a bunch of these on a flat tray or on stacks of multiple flat trays down. And this is a lot easier to cool these ones. So what's the problem with heat management here? If the cylinder uses the least amount of resources to make the container, and chilled air can be circulated and cool it down efficiently. The problem is that when it comes to drinking it, you grab it with your hand like so, you have nowhere else to grab on it, you're wrapping the surface area on it, and because the core is very close to the surface area, you can see it's only this deep to get to the core, that heat is transferred fairly fast on a sheet metal. A sheet metal is a very conductive material. Paper is a lot more of an insulator, so good luck heating or cooling down this. because paper is an insulator, and so the heat transfers quickly from your hand to the sheet metal. From the sheet metal it heats up the beverage. So if you, okay, nobody's gonna grab it two hands like this, but if you grab it in any configuration, the heat transfer from your hand, even when you're not touching it, just nearly touching it, heat transfer from your hand is going to be significant to the sheet metal, because it is a good conductive material in terms of heat or electricity. So heat management, that's why this shape is problematic. There are solutions to this shape, and avoiding heating it up from your hand while you're drinking it. This design here is a lot better design. Same stuff applies to shipping, that there's lots of dead space around it, even more dead space than with these. But in the dead space, again, you can circulate cold air or chilled air, especially around the neck. There's going to be a lot of dead space. But when you grab it by the neck, and the level of liquid stays below your hand or below your grip, and not much heat is going to be transferred from your hand to the liquid, because they are staying away. That's why it has a neck. So this is a more efficient design in terms of heat management than this. But this is again made of plastic. Plastic is an insulator. Good luck keeping it at a cold temperature, because because plastic is an insulator. So cooling it down and keeping it cool would be more of a challenge than in this container, where it's sheet metal and it's a good conductive material. So at this point, to find a solution better than this, we have to combine old school and modern, and we're going to take use of the insulating properties of ceramics. This is a ceramic mug or clay mug, and very simply, instead of grabbing the sheet metal cylinder, you can just do this and your problems are solved. Heat transfer is minimal, because you're only going to be grabbing the handle, and that's it. This is an insulator. This can stay cool. Now this can even be made better if you pre-chill or pre-cool the temperature of the clay mug or porcelain mug. That way the temperature of the beverage is the same as the temperature of the sheet metal, is the same as the temperature of the clay mug, and when you grab it, this heating up effect or heat transfer is going to be minimal. You can enjoy the beverage without heating it up. Or if this and this are at the same temperature, you can just transfer the contents and drink it that way. Also works. So there you have it. Old school solution to a modern problem with shapes and sheet metal.